You should do your hair how you had it yesterday too in the next one. I hope everybody listening is keeping hydrated in this heat wherever you're at.
Stay hydrated, please, because
it's kind of gotten bad where like I can't really drink water because I'm obsessed with like flavored carbonated drinks. It can be any type. It can just be like anything needs to be carbonated. Like there needs to be some like fizzy bubbly situation going.
Does the bubble make you feel like it's colder?
Yeah, and it feels like more refreshing, you know.
Why is that?
I don't know. Compared to like anything flat, like who wants to just drink something flat?
Oh yeah, with no ice either.
I mean, it can be like hella cold, but it's just so much more refreshing in the summer to drink something that has like bubbles.
Yeah.
You know, but apparently they're not like super healthy for you to drink bubbly water or drinks all the time.
Why not?
I don't know, something about, because not all of them are like naturally carbonated. They add like carbonation into it. So yeah.
Speaking of water and stuff, I just want to address the elephant in the room.
Which is?
Why are you looking around?
No, because I'm like, I don't know what elephant you're talking about.
The elephant in the room is in the center of the camera, which is this lovely plant that we have here.
Oh yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay, go. We
just noticed that it needs water, okay?
We noticed like a little bit before we started recording.
And if we don't mention it, everyone in the comments would talk about the plant in a minute. Obviously, you can see we replaced it with the other plant. The other plant is over there, and there's no leaves on that one right now. Okay, it's dead. Yeah,
the plant that everybody was getting our asses on. I don't know if that was correct.
No, getting on our asses on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to that plant. It just died. If you're not watching the video, you probably don't even know what we're talking about. So just,
Yeah.
But welcome back, everybody, to the What's the Juice pod. I am one of your hosts, Alia Zaitsa.
My name is Yoni Kodo.
And today we have a interesting episode for you guys. I'm excited to talk about it. I feel like the topic stemmed from like a realization I've had and something that I've been trying to like practice more and more of. And it's also something that Yoni and I kind of not disagree on, but differ on in general, because it's something that you just practice on your own.
Which is great.
Which is good, but I just think it's funny the way that...
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that like we are different in that way at this point in time.
And the title is?
Oh, and obviously
like, what are we talking
about silence, but we're not talking about silence as like not being outspoken or something like that, like speaking wise or like speaking your ideas. We're talking about silence in the context of like just nothingness, no sound, stimulation of any sort in your environment.
While doing something.
Yeah. And that can be various things. Because basically what happened is I became an iPad kid. Do you know what an iPad kid is? Yes, that's definitely who you are. What's an iPad kid? Anything you do, you need an iPad. Not even an iPad.
No.
That's just the term.
Yeah. Oh, is that actually an actual term?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for Alia, it's mostly your phone.
Yeah.
When you get the iPad out, that's when you really like get comfortable. Like you decided to make it a thing. A phone is easier for you to just fold clothes and put the phone and then watch your little Grey's Anatomy
or whatever
show.
I'm watching. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's every day. You did that right before the podcast.
Yeah, I did.
And you always watch two types of shows, I noticed.
What are the types?
Some doctor shit. Where there's like surgery and you love to see like blood. And,
I mean, first of all, it's all fake anyways, but sure.
But still, it's like weird to look at. I don't like that.
Okay.
And then also you love to watch some crime, true crime.
Yep, that's my shit.
And then you love to watch airplane disasters. You love to watch like bad shit. You don't watch anything that's like happy.
Cause it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what Alia watches.
Yeah, those are like my three things.
I will say though, the airplane disasters is really fucking good.
Yeah, if you have access to, I mean, I don't know if it doesn't affect me that way. Like, I guess when we are on a plane, I do get kind of scared if there's some shit going down.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of I watched all those episodes, but it's basically a Smithsonian series, and they've had it for like hella seasons. I think there's like 20 seasons, and every episode is about a different like airplane disaster, and it's what happened in like what the crash was. They have actors that act and reenact basically everything that happened, and you see them like the pilot is in the cabin, and there's like the cabin crew, and then there's passengers. So you can like really see how it looked and kind of how it happened. But then they go backwards, and they have like investigators investigate the wreck and find out like what happened. They listen to the like conversation leading up to the thing, and they like basically trace back all the steps of like, why did this happen, you know? And it's really interesting because sometimes they ask all these questions, and it's cool to see how they figured it out.
Yeah. Even though we'll be traveling a lot this summer, so I don't think it's like something that I will want to watch like anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I have it like playing in the background. I would say like I often have just shit playing in the background when I'm doing something else.
Yeah. And do you feel like you need to do that? You feel like you need to have something to be able to?
I think for some people it's like me, where they have to listen, or like they play like a show or something constantly. For other people like you're always listening to music
or a podcast.
Mostly
podcasts.
Yeah, that's like Yodi always has his headphones in, or he plays it out loud. But it's not necessarily that different, because when I play a show, I'm not constantly just watching. I might be doing something and I'm just listening.
How can you watch a show? I don't understand how you can watch a show but not watch it. You can just listen.
Well, first of all, I don't care that much about the show to like have to watch every second. Okay. It's not like a new show. Like, for example, Grey's Anatomy, I've watched that shit so many times already, so I kind of know what's gonna happen. But I have this connection I've made with these, like, it's just a very satisfying show to watch for me. If you guys have watched Grey's Anatomy and you're fans, you probably know what I'm talking about. But so I play it as I'm like working, writing emails, sometimes if I'm doing like rough cutting of editing. And it's nice because, I don't know, it just kind of makes going through everything a little bit like easier to get through a bulk of work, or to like do dishes or clean or whatever.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's the same like listening to a podcast. Like,
exactly.
2 hours would go by and I wouldn't even notice. Like, time becomes, it's like it's not even a thing.
Yeah.
And it actually helps me even be more focused and not get distracted by like other things around me.
Okay.
You know, but I don't think I will be able to do something and watch, because if I'm watching something, I need to sit down and watch it.
It definitely distracts me sometimes.
Yeah. Like sometimes Aldia is watching something, and let's say you're folding clothes, right?
Yeah.
And then you would just hold like a piece of clothing, and then you just look at the screen the whole time.
If something like intense is happening, I want to, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so basically, I think and I'm sure we're not the only ones, that in today's age with like just, you know, the idea of also like multitasking, and how we're obsessed with like kind of squeezing everything we can out of every moment of the day. You're kind of like, it's kind of hard to like just do one thing.
Thing, like just one activity at a time?
Yeah, just one activity at a time. Like, could you do the dishes in complete silence?
I could, but I would always rather have some entertainment, because nobody loves to do dishes.
Okay.
So it's like, if I'm doing dishes, let me at least listen to my favorite song.
Okay.
so you can make it, so I can be a little bit more, I guess, like happy.
Okay, but then you're done doing the dishes, right? And you move on to the next task, and the next thing that you got to do, and the next thing you got to do, and you're constantly listening to something. And when our brain is stimulated by not an activity we're doing, but like something that we're listening to or watching, but I would say more like listening to, our thoughts can't come into our head. I realize that.
Which is fine. I'm okay with that.
But if you're constantly listening to something all day, you never give yourself any space to think of anything by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, when you say all day, I don't literally do that from the moment I wake up until, like, obviously sometimes if I'm, okay, I never drive with no music.
Okay.
Sometimes when I do though, it feels really, really nice.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is. And it's not even necessarily that I'm thinking about something when I don't listen to music. Mm-hmm. But just listening to like the road and just the street. If you're driving by the beach, I would probably not listen to music. Because you just want to like, I don't know, hear the waves.
It's funny you say that because every time we get in the car to go somewhere, the first thing Yoni does is like plug his phone into the aux cord so he can play something.
Before I put on my seatbelt.
Yeah, before you put on your seatbelt.
Before I turn the car on. But then I guess I couldn't play it anyways because the car's not on.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that you're always ready to just like play something.
Yeah.
When I get in the car, maybe if it's like a long drive specifically, like if I know we're going to like my parents' house and I got to drive for 30 minutes, then I'll do that.
Damn, I can drive if I need to drive somewhere for like
5 minutes.
5 minutes or 10 minutes. I'm thinking about like before I even go, I'm thinking about I have about 3 to 4 songs max that I can listen to, and I'll just put them back to back. I was like, okay, first I want to listen to this. I do that.
Yeah, I know.
And then I have like the perfect drive.
Yeah, I literally, if it's like a long drive, I'll put something on. But like I go to my workout class, right? It's a 5-minute drive. Or we go to one of our favorite like lunch spots that we're actually going to go to later today.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, I want to go to Seattle Fish Guys. I want to get some poke.
No.
We go there. That's a 7-minute drive. Or it can be 10 minutes if there's like a little traffic. Okay?
You would not listen to music?
I don't have to. No, I wouldn't.
That's so boring.
But, okay, so...
I have to listen to music because especially if it's like a sunny day out, I'm going to listen to some good vibes.
Okay, what about other things too? Like cooking.
Okay.
I would say I do more of the cooking than you do.
Okay.
And sometimes...
I like how I say okay as if like it's like a debate.
I've just... Basically what I'm trying to say is that I've realized that giving myself time during the day, a lot of time actually, where I'm doing a task, I'm doing a thing, I'm either working, I am cleaning, I am folding the laundry like I did yesterday, I am cooking in silence. No music, no TV show,
you did that
no conversation. I did that yesterday. Remember what you asked me? You're like, babe, what you doing in there? You're not listening to anything? And I was like, no.
Yo, but you know what's funny? When Alia doesn't listen to anything, I feel like I can feel her thoughts just like roaming around.
But you know why? You know why? Because I have the space. My brain has the space in it when it's not stimulated by something else and it's not given information, either music or something else. And I have space in my brain to think about other shit.
But you have a specific look on your face when you think about stuff. And I can
tell that I don't know about that.
And I can tell you're so focused.
But you know how much inner dialogue I have in my head?
Oh, I know.
You know the amount of conversations I have with myself? But it doesn't have to be like deep or contemplating life. It can be simple as like work stuff. Like I'm thinking through like a situation, like how to film this thing and something that I have to do anyways. Or I'm thinking about maybe like, I don't know, my relationship with my parents. Or I'm thinking about my relationship with my siblings. Or I'm thinking about us moving. Or I'm thinking about just anything that comes to mind. But every time I get in this, like, at first it's a little uncomfortable. Because for some reason we've come to this point where silence has become uncomfortable. Where you're like, I gotta listen to something. So it's so boring if I don't. But I've come to actually really enjoy silence. Because it no longer becomes boring. Because I have all these thoughts in my head already. I get to process, I get to think about them, I get to explore them. I get these like bursts of creativity. I'm thinking about the podcast. I'm thinking about different topics for the podcast.
So true. I feel I can't even like argue with that.
You know? Even before the podcast, you know how I was watching Grey's Anatomy before the podcast? Yeah. I felt my brain was like scrambled.
Yeah.
If I didn't listen to something, even without realizing, I would be processing what we're about to do, and I would think about what we have to do, you know?
But I have those moments too, okay? Let's not make it seem like I just don't do that, because I do.
Okay.
Just maybe not a lot, or maybe not as much as you. When I take a shower, I used to always listen to music.
That's true.
Now I don't listen to anymore, but that's not because I necessarily want to think or have space. Mm-hmm. It's just because the speaker is dead.
Right.
Or something like that.
Okay. So
but then I do enjoy my shower. I'm like, wow, you know what?
You're thinking about hella shit when you're in there, right?
Oh, you know how much shit I think about in a shower?
And isn't it super satisfying?
It is. And my showers actually tend to be longer when I don't listen to music.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I think more, I'm just like more like in my brain, I guess. But when I listen to music, I just enjoy. I don't think about anything.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Did you ever want to watch something while you're in the shower? That would be really nice. If I could just have like a screen in the wall.
Honestly, no. I've realized how much I really went through like a long phase where I was obsessed. Now I feel like I go in and out. I'm a little bit more balanced. But I used to just be I would be obsessed with like watching something constantly, and I would get anxiety if a show ended and I'm like, what am I gonna watch next?
I mean, I feel like you do that now because there's some shows you watch like 3 times, which I will never understand.
Like Grey's Anatomy, I've watched that shit twice or maybe 3 times already.
I don't know what the point is of watching something more than once.
Well, it's the same way with like listening to a song so many times.
No, the song is good.
Yeah, so is the show.
I don't know. I guess for me, I'm not a big show watcher, so then whenever I complete a season, I'm like,
it's just different. The same way that I don't listen to music that often.
You don't listen to music.
I listen to music if I go to the gym, or if I would much rather watch something if I'm cooking rather than listen to music. You know? But yesterday, I made myself lunch, complete silence.
Yeah.
I made myself a little chicken, a little cabbage salad, did all that. It was hot. I had the fan on me. It was hot as hell in here. And I just was thinking about shit.
No, it's good. So what did you think about like the recent couple? Like when you were folding clothes, what was it? I feel like, you know what, honestly, it's not even a fair question because it's so many different thoughts.
It's so many different things.
Yeah.
I just think that I've reached this place where I'm more intentional with my silence. Where when I reach for my phone to like play my show or whatever, I think twice about it. And sometimes I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I'll play it, whatever. I'm not saying I'm like perfect and I just do everything in silence. That's not true at all. But I would say that from where I used to be, when I do give myself that space intentionally of like doing a task in silence, if it's like, as I said, folding clothes, or if you're walking on the street, like let's say I'm walking to like my go-to coffee shop. It's a 10-minute walk. Sometimes it's really nice, you put on your headphones, you're walking, you're strutting, you feel like you're in a movie vibe or whatever, depending on what you're playing. It's fun, it's good. But then other times, if I don't listen to something, let's say my headphones are dead, right? Mm-hmm. Without even realizing, I end up thinking about shit that's very useful for me to think about.
But sometimes people don't always want to listen to
But I'm not even saying you got to do that all the time.
No, but I know. But I'm just saying, if you don't, sometimes if I just want to escape my thoughts, for example, a podcast, a new album that came out, is perfect. I don't always want to think about, I got to do this today, okay, and then
but it doesn't even have to be that deep.
That makes me so tired.
No, but I'm not talking about you got to always think about shit like that. You can think about friends you haven't talked to in a while, or you can think about maybe like how you want to, I don't know, exercise more.
Wait, so are we saying that, because I feel like I can think about stuff when I listen to music.
Okay, but if you're listening to music and doing shit on your phone, I'm sorry, there's no space in your brain to also think about shit the way that I'm talking about.
There's no way. There's no way.
You can tell the difference. You can tell the difference because you can catch yourself in a silent moment where you're just like doing a simple task, like cleaning, and you're not listening to anything. You realize how much shit you're thinking about and how much shit you would be thinking about all these other times that you clutter your brain or just stimulate your brain with something, and it takes up that space for you.
Yo, you know what happened to me the other day? I was listening to a podcast and they were talking. There's multiple people on the podcast, right? It's not just 2, it's like 3 or 4. And they were talking back and forth, and then I just had to stop it because I felt like it was too much. And I couldn't, like, my brain, like you said earlier, my brain was like scrambled. And I just felt anxious. And I didn't know why. Like, I think I was doing dishes, but then I just felt like uneasy. But maybe it's because of like...
Also the way they were talking.
Yeah, it's also not like a podcast that's just very chill. And I feel like I'm, it's not like that.
Right.
It's very people talking over each other, laughing, which is, it's kind of chaotic, you know?
Yeah. And kind of that's also why I don't really listen to podcasts. I mean, I could listen to more podcasts. I don't know, but
are we telling people to not listen to What's the Juice?
No, and I'm not saying don't listen to music or none of that. I just think that
whenever you have time, do it. Just don't do it all the time.
Yeah, example, right?
Unless you want to listen to What's the Juice, then do that all the time.
An example, perfect example, right?
Okay.
Our mornings when you don't go to work and we're both at home in the morning. What's the thing that you love to do as soon as you get out of bed in the morning? And I always tell you that I don't want you to do it.
As soon as I get up and it's time to like clean around the house.
No, not even clean. To just brush our teeth, wash our face situation.
Okay, that's fine. I look for the speaker. We have a blue speaker. I'll look for it and I want to turn it on. And before I get to it, I'm like, please be charged.
Right.
And as soon as she hears the Allie is like, no. No. I'm like, why? Can we just have a nice, chill, good vibes in the morning?
But it's not that I don't have good vibes. You know why?
No, you don't have good vibes then. Because if you don't want to listen to the music that I want to play.
Bro, we just woke up.
Okay.
I just opened my eyes.
Okay.
Give me a little bit of time to like get adjusted to being awake again. Because you know how you're stealing like precious moments of like your brain adjusting to seeing shit, smelling shit, walking around. You know, ease into the day. I'm not saying don't listen to music, but as soon as you get out of that bed, that's the first thing you do. And you turn it on and you start playing music. I feel like I don't have brain space to even think about what I got to do today. Because we're adults. We got shit to do.
You ever thought about how maybe some people have more brain space than others?
No.
Because I can do that. I can listen to music and think about stuff in the morning.
Well, I can't. I'm not telling you, I don't want to say like, no, you can't, because obviously I'm not in your brain. But also in the way that we operate, I'm much more like a little bit more proactive. I'm constantly running down a list of like everything we got to do and all of that. And that's also why I need that space. You know what I mean?
So you might need more space.
Yeah, but I would also say that in general,
saying.
like even in our relationship, I'm a little bit more of that person that is like, okay, what are we doing? What's the plan for the day? Whatever. Versus you kind of like, you take your time and by the time you figure it out, time kind of goes by. You're not as like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I waste a lot of time.
Yeah, like it just takes you a long time to like get through certain parts of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I need just like silence and quiet to like figure all these things out.
Yeah.
Think about the podcast. Think about if we have to record. What are we recording? What time are we recording? You know, what am I going to eat for breakfast? Like, what do I feel like eating? You know, do we need to go to the store? Where do we, I don't know, just random shit like that. Do we need to do laundry? Like, those are all things that I'm thinking about when I wake up. Because those are important things for me to figure out at the beginning of the day. So then the rest of the day, I know what's happening. I know where we're going. I know what we're doing. Especially when we're both home.
Yeah.
Because your first instinct is to play music.
Yeah.
You know? And I honestly feel like it would be helpful for you if you didn't. That wasn't your instinct. Like, why is it that you need music as soon as you wake up?
I don't know. I think it makes me... And I listen to chill music in the morning too.
Yeah, like I'm not saying you're listening to some like, yeah.
No, exactly. But it helps me kind of ease myself into the day. It makes me want to clean up if we have to clean up, and it just relaxes me. But it's also not just first 5 minutes as soon as I wake up. It's not that early.
As soon as you get out of bed and it's time for us to like again brush our teeth, wash our face. You know, get changed, make breakfast.
I don't know. I just like listening to music in the morning.
Okay. That's fine.
You know.
My big thing is that you just assume that I want to listen to music too, so you put it on the speaker.
Yeah. That's my fault. I just want to, because I want you to feel the same way I'm feeling. But
I hate that shit.
But I just realized that I have to realize that you have a different process.
Yeah,
and
like I love
silence in the morning.
I love that shit.
You know, and I can't say that I don't, but music just doesn't disturb me that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that the music disturbs me, but even sometimes, like, if I'm trying to pick an outfit to get ready for the podcast, or if I'm, like, getting ready, or all these, like, small little moments, like, we're putting together the like, the set for the podcast, and, like, we need to write, like, a few notes for what we're going to talk about.
Silence is important.
I can't have music playing. I feel like I can't think. No, seriously, sometimes I feel like that. I'm like, babe, can you please stop the music?
Yo,
I can't even have
why did you tap your head?
No, because it feels like that.
It's so funny, bro.
And I don't know, maybe this is just me, but it's something that I've discovered the last couple of months of how much silence is really beneficial, and how the more silence I give myself, the more I'm like problem solving. I'm creative. I think about just random video ideas, how to approach something, the podcast ideas. But if I just don't have any silence, or a good amount of it in a day, there's so many like thoughts that I don't let myself have, and I feel like it's a loss.
No, it is. I think it's just different for everyone.
Yeah,
I think some people can handle the music and thinking, and some people just can't.
I can't handle it. It's not a matter of that. I'm saying you automatically are blocking yourself from having thoughts that you would be able to have if you just weren't listening to something or watching something.
Yeah,
I think like it's not a matter of I can't handle listening to music. It's just that
I feel like that's what you're saying, because if it's blocking you from, you know, getting ready or thinking about certain things, that means that the music is not helping you achieve those whatever you need to get done.
In those moments, yeah. Like if I'm trying to write shit down or like think about something, I can't listen to somebody talking or singing and like write down some shit. It's like the words get fucked up. But that is true, and maybe that's like everybody is able to deal with that better. But when it comes to other easy things to do that are not so like writing down words, I do think that just, not that I can't handle music, but if I choose to not listen to music, I allow myself to just have all these like inner conversations with myself.
You really didn't like when I say can't handle music.
Yeah, because I'm like, what are you talking about?
I love music too. But I also think that, and I know you're going to disagree, but I know you love music as well, but I don't want to say I like music more, but I just listen to more music. When there's a new album that comes out, when there's a new project that comes out from whatever artist, I tend to listen to it as soon as it comes out. Like, I know when it comes out. Like 9 p.m., I listen to it from track 1 to whatever.
Yeah, but you're acting like there's new music coming out every day, all day.
No. But every week there's new music coming out. I'm just saying I do that. It's like a part of my life. It's a thing that I do. I listen to full albums, and then you would
watch full shows.
Yeah, watch full shows. So I guess that's just how it is.
Yeah, but I just think, especially for people that are in a creative field, whatever it is that you have to do that is like creative, I just think that you don't realize how much is already in your brain. You just don't allow yourself to think about it because you don't even know when something's gonna come. Because if I'm like, okay, time to figure out ideas, and you stop the music, you stop the show, you stop whatever, and you sit down and you're like, let's figure out ideas, shit might not be there in that moment.
It's not even like that when it comes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's sometimes we're trying to think of like, okay, what are we going to talk about on the pod? And in the moment, you are searching for that creativity and that like thing to talk about. And it doesn't come to you because you're forcing it in that moment.
Yeah.
But that shit might have been in your head at some point, but you were stimulating with something else and you didn't think about it.
Yo, it's so crazy how it's different for me. When I listen to music, that's when I get idea for like a specific photo that I want to shoot. Or like, it could be like a small little lyric that they say, a small line. And I'm not even talking about rap music or R&B. You know?
Okay, photography. Okay, what about the podcast?
Well, with the podcast, I definitely need silence. Like to come up with like, what do you mean? What about the podcast?
No, like to come up with like topics or like
those are very random. When I talk to people,
yeah, that's true.
That happens to me when I have interactions with people, and they would say something, and I would be like, Thank you very much. That's a new topic that we need to talk.
That is true. I don't know. I feel like
there's many ways.
I don't want to tell you like what to do. I just think it'd be really interesting to see if like you tried to do a little bit more just like simple tasks of just like us cleaning in the morning, or like doing the dishes or doing the laundry or something, and do it like consciously. Be like, you know what? I'm not gonna listen to shit.
I'm gonna
just see what happens.
I'm gonna do that this weekend. I'm not listening to anything and just see how I feel.
And it doesn't have to be. I'm not saying like don't listen to shit all day, every day.
I want to try it, and then next podcast I'll let you guys know how it went.
All right.
Okay. Now, what about running and music or podcast? Do you have to listen to something when you go on a run?
Or like workout?
Yeah, or workout.
Yeah.
I think working out, like weights.
Because that shit sucks, bro.
Yeah, no. If I go to the gym and I don't have my headphones with me, I'm going back home to get
Have you ever? No. The worst is you have your headphones, they're just dead.
Oh my God.
Because then you can't even go home. What are you going to do? Wait an hour to charge them?
Yeah, that is the worst.
That's happened to me. Or when like one works and one doesn't.
Oh my God. Yo, if one works and one doesn't.
I'll try to.
And I'm like on the bench, I feel like like my arms won't be evenly strong.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so the gym and lifting weights, I think you definitely need music. I mean, just personally for me. But when I go on a run, I was watching an interview the other day, and this guy was like, I don't listen to music when I run.
I've heard of people doing that.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't listen to music when I run because it's like cheating. You're using something to keep you motivated while you're on your run. Just be with your thoughts, and it's just you and the concrete and your shoes and your legs.
Listen.
And that's it.
I get that point.
I get it too.
I wouldn't necessarily frame it as cheating. I would say it's just something that can motivate you. I would say that if you get through running a certain distance without listening to something, you definitely have a different type of strength.
Okay.
That's what I would say. But I wouldn't say that like you're cheating if you're listening to music while you're running. I would just say that like you definitely it might be more beneficial on like several levels if you're not listening to anything while you're on a run.
Yeah, I don't think
it strengthens and like builds this callus in a different way.
Yeah, it's not cheating. I think definitely listen to a good podcast. My problem is with running and listening to something, I just don't have good headphones that actually stay in my ear while I run.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is, I go on a run, and this happened the last few times I went on a run. I run and, I get sweaty, and then the
sweat
shit
gets in your ear.
Yeah, and then it just slips out of my ear, and I hate that the most.
Yeah.
One time I went on a run, and I almost threw out like my AirPods. I just threw them out in the grass.
I mean, you also have the ones that don't go in your ear. Because those are like rubbery, so they kind of stay in there.
Yeah, but do you remember the 10K we did?
Yeah, I remember.
I wanted to take out because we were running by the lake.
There was also another issue.
What?
That you thought you only played a song, a DJ Khaled song, but you actually played the whole album. And you didn't want to listen to the whole album or something.
Oh, no. I wanted to listen to the album in a specific order.
Oh.
Or specific songs, but then it just played it with all the bad songs that I don't like. And I had my phone in this little belt thing, and it was in the back, and I couldn't reach it while running.
For some reason, you didn't want to stop.
And I didn't want to stop because this is the thing about running. When I run, I don't want to stop because the moment I stop, I feel like I fucked up. I want to run. My whole thing is just that I want to run nonstop.
I get it.
But yeah, so that was it. What was my point with the headphones?
We started talking about this from when like the headphones when you go to the gym and they're not charged.
Right. But after that, what I was saying that I just remember this specific moment. I was running and I wanted to take out my AirPods and just throw them in the water. No. But not even just like that. I wanted to throw them because I was mad. I wanted to really like toss that shit in the middle.
Just so being dramatic.
Yeah, and then obviously regret it right away.
Yeah.
But I was just so mad. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of like the point that I wanted to make. Maybe I'm completely off base and people are like, yeah, this seems like a you thing. I don't know. I've just come to the realization that silence is really important, and we kind of maybe forget that because it basically forces you to think. It forces you to be alone with your own thoughts and have this like inner dialogue about certain things. And I really think that can be beneficial. And it's not that I have like a whole therapy session in my head. It's not that deep.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
But sometimes there's things that I realize, or things about like people in my life, or I don't know.
I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to you, because what you're saying is very valid. I just work a little bit different, even though I enjoy silence, which I will be practicing the next couple weeks, right? The next week until the next pod, but and see how it goes. But I just like to listen to stuff. I don't know, especially if it's like a podcast about photography.
I know, but you keep
something.
saying like I like to listen. It's not that I don't like to listen. I force myself to not choose to watch a show, which is like my thing, versus yours is like listening to music or whatever. I'm consciously like, let me not block my mind with this, and then something always happens. Okay,
but when I say I like to listen to music,
you make it seem as if like I don't like to do this thing.
I'm just saying that I like it. I'm not saying you don't like it.
But in this context, it's
as soon as I say I like to listen to music, and now he's like, yeah, but no, I do too.
No, the reason I'm saying that is because you said I think maybe I just like work differently, and you liking music is not working differently than me liking a show. The difference that I'm trying to make is that like you can also try to practice to choose to not listen to something, because I guarantee you'll realize that you're thinking about shit that you wouldn't be able to think about if you were playing music.
Okay. I agree with that, and I will let you know. I'll keep you updated.
Okay.
We got to the end of this episode. If you got to the end of this episode, please let us know. Are you like Alia, or are you like Yoni? Because I would like to know. Let's see. I think there's more people like you for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
I don't know. I'm definitely excited. I'm gonna hold you to that, because you said you want to like see what happens.
Yeah.
So don't get mad at me when I'm like, hey babe, take those headphones out. Just do whatever you're doing without music. Just see what happens.
To be honest, it sounds very peaceful. Honestly,
it's kind of like uncomfortable a little bit.
What?
It feels uncomfortable because you're just like in silence.
I don't think it's uncomfortable.
Next time we drive somewhere, no music.
I feel like I'm going to be thinking about so much shit.
Yeah. Especially like, okay, we'll be together, but you like drive to work or drive to, we're going to my parents this weekend to play tennis in the morning on Sunday.
Oh, we are?
We're not listening to any music. That's a long ass drive.
It's peaceful. I know it is.
But you have, like, you're going to go on this thing in your head.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm talking about it as if we're going to like go on drugs or something. But low key, like, it just, I don't know. I just highly recommend you guys try to like spend more time in silence doing easy shit. I'm not talking about, like anything. Like, I definitely think going to the gym, you got to have some music.
Yeah, gym would be the only thing that sometimes when I see people at the gym with no music, I'm like,
aren't you bored?
No, I'm like, you're different.
Oh, yeah.
You're really built
low-key, I think those people just forgot their shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, that's it for today's episode. Hope that you enjoyed what we talked about, and it was, I don't know, interesting.
It was very interesting. I learned a little bit more about you and why you were like, I saw you always, because you always have that, you watch some things and then sometimes you don't. So I learned a little bit more about what goes in your mind.
I just think it's funny that you said that when I choose to be in silence and I'm doing something, you can hear my thoughts. You can hear that I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so interesting.
If I walk in a room, I can feel the thoughts like bouncing off of me. Like I feel it.
Yeah, but it's so, I don't know.
And it's good. And you have this way of moving while you're doing things.
It's like I'm processing.
Silent. Like you're focused. Yeah. Like I might say something to you, you're not even going to hear me.
Yeah, because I'm in my head just talking shit.
Yeah. It's good. I'm going to try that this week and let you guys know how it goes.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Shout out to everybody's dog.
Shout out to your dog. And
shout out to you guys for listening and coming back for another episode with What's the Juice.
Yes. And shout out to everyone who always tags the podcast and just talks to us on the I was about to say GMs.
On the GMs.
On the DMs, and subscribe on YouTube and comment. Let us know.
Yeah, tell your friends to come be our friends. and we hope that you're having a good summer.
Yeah.
It's when this is coming out, I think it's like the end of July or August or, you know, sometime. So summer is, you know, happening. It's kind of crazy, bro. Summer is moving like this already.
Yeah.
But we're having fun wherever we are because we're actually not here right now.
Oh, why? This is like we're recording in the future right now.
Yeah, we're recording in the future.
So when this is dropping, we're like somewhere overseas.
When this is dropping, guys, just so you know, this doesn't exist anymore.
This doesn't exist. None of this is
these are some of the last few episodes where we're going to be recording here.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm excited to not be recording here anymore.
Yeah, same. New setup and everything. But,
yeah. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you later. See you next week.
See you guys, and shout out to your dog. We love you all.
Okay, bye.
Why was that so professional?
I don't know.
Okay, bye.
Bye.